So hello to everyone. My name is Ernesta, and I am one of the co-organizers here at Vilnius LegalHackers chapter. And today I would like to welcome you to our webinar, which is dedicated with time for lawyers. But if you are a non-lawyer, I'm pretty sure that you might get some helpful and information during today's webinar as well. I don't really think that I should spend a lot of time explaining why we have the topic here in our chapter. Secure remote workplace is something what is super actual, and not only in Lithuania, but in other countries as well. And as a lawyer, because my background is law, I always was of opinion that for nowadays lawyer, it's not enough to prepare legal documentation. Then preparing legal documentation, and setting up the rules, procedures, and policies, we all the time have to keep in mind that those rules have to be implemented. And normally, and most of the lawyers don't even have enough competence to pick up the right measures when it turns to secure remote workplace. Personally, I always rely on security expert advice and their offers. Therefore, the idea of today's webinar is to have someone who has enough knowledge to give us visibility on what measures are available on the market and what measures we can consider when we are preparing and implementing policies and procedures in our companies. And it doesn't matter whether you work as a house lawyer or you act as service provider. Therefore, today we have Marius Kaukenas, a security expert from Hermitage Solutions, who will give us some food for thoughts, some ideas to consider. So, Marius, now the floor is yours, but just a short reminder to everyone that our goal is to fit into 45 minutes. All the questions will be answered after Marius Kaukenas' presentation, and if we won't have enough time to answer the questions, we will get back to you personally and on our social medias with the answers. So please join our network on social networks on LinkedIn and Facebook. So Marius, please introduce yourself and give us some ideas how we can ensure security in our companies.
Okay, hello guys, hello everyone. Thanks Ernesta for the introduction. So as Ernesta already mentioned, I'm Marius from company Hermitage Solutions. And our company is a value-added distributor of cybersecurity products and innovative infrastructure. So yes, already Ernesta made an introduction. Today, today's topic is a secure remote workplace. As remote work has become the new normal, so today we will go through solutions which we think are necessary for remote workplace. And I will try to be as much non-technical as possible so you could share these ideas later with your customers. So let's begin. So working remotely is much bigger challenge for security as doing your job from the office where all the infrastructure is prepared for safe and productive work. Also, pandemia is unusual situation for everyone. So all of us are changing our habits. All of us is quite all of this is quite new for us. So it's natural. There are lots of confusion. The vigilance is decreased, and it's pretty normal. But you should remember that bad guys don't sleep, and they are trying to get as much from this situation as possible. As we see, cyber criminals are immoral. They're even attacking the hospitals and other health organizations. We even heard about the deaths in hospitals, which are related to cyber attacks, where criminals took over control of data and equipment and didn't allow to treat patients properly. So cybersecurity hygiene is the way to safer and aware from cyber crimes. Cyber hygiene is the set of tools, or in other words, solutions, to protect your IT infrastructure, users and data, and implement the best cybersecurity practices. So user education, firmware, software renewals, backups, antiviruses, firewalls, network segmentation, user rights limitation, and many more. These are just a part of hygiene practices. And today we will go through some of them, which Hermitage Solutions thinks are very essentially important. Also, in the beginning of presentation, I want to stress out 3 very important rules or mistakes in cybersecurity. So the first is that those who are telling that I'm not the target to cyber criminals, there is nothing to steal from me, nobody will attack me. It's a first big mistake, because majority of attacks are automated, and they are targeting a wide audience. So the most vulnerable are those which are the least protected. And of course, after the attack, there are many thousands of ways how to monetize the stolen information or do any other harm to you. The second mistake is thinking that once the company implemented security solutions, that's it. They're already safe and don't need to concentrate there anymore. False again. Cybersecurity should be the same constant process as marketing, sales, finances, or any other company activity. After all, even the self-hygiene is everyday task, not just a once a month or once a year. And the third mistake or lesson, that thinking that purchasing the best tools, the most expensive solutions, making you safe. Mistake again. One of the most important parts is human factor. And you need to train and teach your team how to deal with these tools, how to deal with risks. And this should be as well constant task. So to sum up all these rules, mistakes, you should understand one very important message, that there is no 100% protection. Cybersecurity, it's all about the risk management. So it's quite easy to calculate ROE to cybersecurity. Just think how important is the infrastructure and information you own, and what losses you would have it would gone to if that information would be gone or go to wrong hands. So today I divided my presentation into 3 parts. 3 different layers. So basic cybersecurity solutions for remote work, which are must-have, standard cybersecurity tools, which are highly recommended for employees which are working remotely. And the third part are advanced tools or solutions, which are as well recommended for employees which are working remote. So as Ernesta told you, we will take up to 45 minutes. Waiting for your questions after the presentation, and all the resources, the recording, the presentation itself, we will send to you as well after the presentation. So let's begin with the layers. The first batch of the tools, which we call basic security, are endpoint protection, network protection, password manager, and multi-factor authentication. So let's begin with endpoint protection, or in other words, how it's called, antivirus. So there are many various threats which can attack your computers or servers directly. Viruses, malware, data thefts, computer takeovers, ransomwares. Criminals can even use your computer as a gateway to internal company network or infrastructure. And as I mentioned previously, these tools are must regardless the operating system. all Windows, Mac, Linux computers are vulnerable. In these days, even not enough to have the standard antivirus protection, which is based on signatures. The new normal today is having the next generation antivirus protection, which protects your endpoints from zero-day attacks like ransomware, exploits, and the others. These solutions help companies to keep their data securely on computers and servers. Also, this solution prevents from disturbances when your computer or server is compromised and you cannot continue operations until secure and normal state is restored. Antiviruses prevents from data breaches and financial losses, which related to loss of information. And finally, if incident occurs, it allows you to analyze the roots of the attack after the attack, fix the mistakes and prevent it from happening in the future. The next essential solution is network protection and VPN. In other words, it's called firewall. So same as antivirus protects your computers, this solution protects your network and prevents from attacks. It works in general like a gate and gatekeeper. Gatekeeper checks who has the authorization to pass through the gates, also what you are carrying in your luggage, and then preventing from unwanted material in your network. Risk to have unprotected network is the same like letting stranger into your home and allowing to do everything he wants. Firewall works like that. It filters your web traffic, removing viruses, malware, protecting your emails from spam and harmful material. It also can encrypt your communication and make it private. Another firewall feature, which is very important for remote workers, it allows remote employees to connect to internal company resources like databases, applications, which are open only from inside the organization. So basically, VPN is a gateway through the closed door to internal company resources. Firewalls can be physical appliances, can be virtual, which installed on your servers. Also, even firewalls can be provided as a service without need to purchase the hardware and do big initial investments. There are many ways to protect your network, but the main message that you should protect it. If you want to have the privacy, the stable and secure network, protection from viruses, attacks, malware, and also what is very important, to allow your employees remotely connect to your IT infrastructure. The next topic is passwords and password management. According to best practice, there is recommendation to use only complex passwords, which consist at least from 8 to 10 random letters, digits, or special characters. Also, it's very important to use random and different passwords on each account. In case when your account credentials will be breached, so if you use the same password on all of your accounts, then criminals would be able to connect to any of your accounts having the password of your one account. Remembering all the passwords which are made according these previously told best practices is impossible, but basically it's not needed because the best option is to use password management solution. This solution stores all your difficult passwords in one place, helps you to create random difficult combinations of passwords, helps to rotate passwords when passwords expiring, pastes the password when logging in. Basically, solution works on every platform, so Windows machines, Linux machines, Macs, as well on mobile phones, Android and Apple. And if you would ask me if it's secure to keep all your passwords in cloud or any application, well, I would tell you that it depends. There are solutions which are super secure. But anyway, storing the passwords according to the best practice, difficult and different passwords is much more secure than using the one simple password on all your accounts. For example, Solution Keeper Security keeps all your data in the cloud, but that all your data in the cloud is encrypted few times, and only the user is controlling encryption key. So it means that there is no possibility even to the vendor or to any third parties to reach any of your data because it's encrypted, and decrypt can only you. And by the way, this Keeper security is the one of very few solutions which has never data breach. So the answer is yes, it's safe and secure use password managers. Continuing on topic on passwords, let's move to multi-factor authentication or second factor authentication. So majority of data breaches are caused by stolen credentials or accounts. There are many different ways how to steal the user account and password. And one of the most popular is phishing and other phishing forms. So to protect from these threats, it's highly recommended to use second factor authentication on your accounts, of course, where it's possible, where there is such a possibility. I believe you are familiar and you are using second factor solutions like code through a SMS message or some code generators on mobile phones. Even some are using codes through emails or even phone calls. And of course, it's better to use any of second factor than using none. But if you want the highest security level on your account, we recommend the physical security key, which gives much higher level of security and makes your account credentials almost impossible to phish. Companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, various banks, governmental institutions, so basically all those organizations with very, very important, sensitive and confidential information are using YubiKeys not only to protect their accounts, but as well to log into their computer. Even some of them are using it to entering the office. And since they started to use YubiKeys, they had none of account takeovers. So in conclusion, it's second factor or multi-factor solution, it's a must. But if you need the highest security level, we recommend to use hardware security keys. So that's it with the basic cybersecurity solutions. Let's move to the second layer, standard security. And here we see mobile device management solution, email encryption, device encryption, and cybersecurity trainings. So let's start with the mobile device management. These days, mobile devices became a big part of our everyday personal and business life. So this area as well became very attractive to cyber criminals. There are a few major topics. It's security and remote management. First, of course, is security. Same as computers, mobile devices should be protected from various external threats like viruses, malware, etc. Because in these devices, usually there are even more confidential information than in your computers. So mobile device management solutions can offer security features and protect it from security threats. Second big issue is how to separate work and personal environments in mobile devices, especially when lots of us are using same device for personal life and work. Here comes containerization feature. It means that with a mobile device management solution, companies can create private container in personal mobile phone where all the work information will be stored separately and protected with additional layer of security. And what is the most important, that this container can be remotely deleted or wiped when employee leaves the company or device is lost or stolen. So basically, company data is deleted, private data still is on the phone. And finally, the last very important feature is the implementing company policies. For example, which apps can be used or downloaded, which security features should be enabled, remote setup, etc., etc. So in conclusion, mobile device management solutions increases security, productivity, and helps companies centrally manage and inventory the company assets. Encryption, email encryption. So I believe you as lawyers understand how important is confidential information and that it cannot be shared regularly. There are numerous threats which can cause confidential information takeover and breach. And I believe I don't need to explain what are the consequences of it. So if the companies are sharing internally or externally sensitive information, and they want to be sure that information will be delivered only to targeted recipients, they need to use secure communication tools. One of these are CryptShare email encryption. This tool allows not only securely share content, but as well share any size of file, any size of attachment, revoke email if it was sent to wrong recipient. And to do that, to have these features with CryptShare, it's super simple. So person just needs few additional button presses and information is encrypted. More about CryptShare is that this solution can be integrated with mass mailing systems where confidential information can be sent to numerous of recipients. Banks are doing that, insurance companies are doing that, hospitals, governmental, basically any company which has lots of recipients and they need to share some confidential information, you can automate that sharing. So in conclusion, email encryption brings security, simplicity, and compliance to your customers' companies and communication. Let's continue with encryption. Now we will talk about device encryption. If I will give you a simple question, how critical would be if your computer would be lost or stolen, and the information which is in that computer, you know that it can be accessed by others. Is it bad? If it's bad, then you need to encrypt your computer and make it impossible to access the material without decryption password. Of course, you can use default Windows BitLocker or Mac File Vault tools for disk encryption, but these solutions do not offer central management. It means that if you will forget one day your encryption key, encryption password, that's it. The data is lost. You will not be able to restore it. So in this case, we recommend to use device encryption tools, which can either encrypt your computer with their tools, either centrally manage previously discussed BitLocker or File Vault tools, or even encrypt not a whole disk, but separate files in computer. So in conclusion about encryption, just remember that data loss can cause not only disturbances to your businesses, but other huge consequences like reputation or even fines from authorities. Okay, and the last topic in standard solutions is employee trainings. So as discussed previously, human factor sometimes is even more important than any solution or tool. I believe all of us know the quote that we are only as strong as our weakest link. And usually that weakest link in our organizations are the people. Majority of the threats comes out of not knowing the consequences and how to behave in virtual life. So this is the reason why we developed Cybersecurity Academy. It's a Hermitage Solution branch which is responsible for on-site cybersecurity trainings. Trainings can be on various topics, starting from basic cybersecurity awareness course for all company employees to even specific target trainings for company IT and cybersecurity departments. And these trainings are performed by experienced lecturers. The latest Cybersecurity Academy product is online cybersecurity awareness training platform. Easy to use, interactive, up-to-date, 24/7 available platform. Basically can reduce your company cybersecurity risks by turning your employees into a human firewall. So summing up on trainings, don't invest only to tools. Pay attention as well to your employee skills and how to increase them. And hope you're still awake because we came to the last chapter, advanced security. So there will be 3 different solutions: employee productivity monitoring, backup, and data loss prevention. Employee productivity monitoring, or in other words, just employee monitoring. So as the lawyers, I believe you know that it's quite a thin line between employee privacy and his monitoring. But there are plenty of positions, plenty of seats where these kind of solutions are highly recommended. Employee monitoring solution can prevent from bad employee intentions of stealing or harming the company. Also, it can help to investigate IT incidents, check if those incidents were intentional action or it's just a human error. And of course, later prevent from these threats happening again. These tools are highly recommended as well for third-party contractors or remote workers to evaluate the productivity, maybe later even increase it, even motivate employees for overachieving the productivity. So how this tool works? This tool recording computer screen, controlling the applications which can be used, calculating the time which employee is spending while working in every application or system, and providing for administrator alerts based on the features above. So if companies want to evaluate employee productivity and prevent internal frauds, this software is recommended. Backing up the infrastructure. So this is quite simple to explain. So device failures causes data loss. Losing devices causes again data loss. Attacks and hacks again causes the data loss. Data loss causes business lockdown, and finally business lockdown causes the financial loss. So from here it comes that to prevent financial loss, you should back up your data. Backup solution allows hybrid infrastructure backup. So it means you can back up your computers, servers, mobile devices, file storages, and any other memory which you have in your network. After the incident, solution allows to restore the data to previous state, and the restoring time is very important because as soon you will restore, as soon business will get back to normal. Backup is being done automatically in the background by predefined configuration. So once it's enabled, you can be sure that your data is safe and secure. Again, it's quite easy to calculate return on investment. It's just think how important is your data and try to predict what happened if it's gone. It's like I would call it like insurance with the guarantee that everything will come back what you lost. And the last solution, but of course not least, is the data loss prevention, or in other words, DLP tool. So this solution helps from accidental or intentional leaking, confidential or other sensitive data outside the organization. So for example, somebody is leaking company costs to competitors, or somebody is leaking client list to competitors. Somebody is stealing company data to establish his own company and directly compete. So there are many different scenarios, which of course are not intentional. Not all of them are intentional, especially when employees working remotely and feeling safer from catching. So data leakage, as discussed previously, can harm company reputation, can cost penalties from authorities, can have direct impact to financial results, or even losing the competitiveness. So with DLP tools, companies can block and unblock all computer ports through which data can go out. For example, blocking the USBs, blocking using of printers, Bluetooths, etc. Also, they can create rules by which agent in the computer will be scanning all traffic and searching some specific information from going out. Let's say scanning and searching if any financial data is going through the computer or any personal identification numbers, and then it's blocking. Also, you can do the audit by scanning and searching what information lies in what computer and which information is in computer which is not supposed to be in that computer. So in conclusion, DLP tools prevents confidential data leakage, allows internal fraud detection and investigation after the incidents. So let's go once again through all these security layers. First layer, basic security, must have products where antivirus, or in other words, endpoint protection, network protection firewall, password manager, and multi-factor authentication. Second layer, standard security, mobile device management, email encryption, device encryption, and cybersecurity trainings. And final recommended layer is advanced security, employee productivity monitoring, backup, and data loss preventions. So here are all the products I wanted to discuss with you today. I do understand that it's a lot of information and it's very difficult to memorize everything. And it's okay, you don't need to. We will share this presentation after the webinar. Please go once more if needed. If you will have any specific questions, we're always ready to help you or to help your customers if needed. But for the very end, I want you to remember once more the three main rules or mistakes. The first one, those who are telling that I'm not target to cyber criminals. There is nothing to steal from me. Nobody will attack me. Wrong. Majority of the attacks, remember, are automated and they are targeting wide audience. Most vulnerabilities are those which are least protected. The second is thinking that once I implemented security solutions, that's it, I'm safe and don't need to concentrate there anymore. False again, cybersecurity should be same constant process. Third rule, thinking that purchasing the best tools and the most expensive solutions and you are safe, again, mistake. One of the most important parts is human factor. You need to train and teach your team how to deal with these tools, how to deal with these risks. And this should be done again constantly. So stay safe and secure. Thanks for your time. And now it's time for questions if you have some.